All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
All right, hello everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to another episode of Blame Your Brother. This is episode something.
57.
I don't know. 57. Sure, there we go. All right, guys. Yes, Blame Your Brother, episode 57. There are three of us coming to you from this podcast. I am 1/3 of that trio. I am David, also known as D Brew, the voice of the people, Mr. 40%, hashtag that man, Nick Nickum, Glenn Jackson, so many more. I'll stop there and introduce my brother. His name is Lee. What's up?
What's up? I am the one with the internet. I am the producer, the one and only, the White Farrakhan.
Oh, there you go. All right.
The Alex Jones of the left.
That's good. The White Farrakhan. I forgot about that one. I'm also joined by the guy to the right of me. His name is John.
I actually don't want to claim that nickname.
Too late.
It's just too late.
You just said it.
It's recorded. Hey, everybody. It's John here, a.k.a. Tico, a.k.a. Mr. PTI, Mr. Groupon, the Madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman.
They do have a madman.
Okay, he's a madman.
That's right. So there's three of us that come to you every week and bring you this program. So, yeah, hang on for the ride. It should be a good one tonight. We are going to talk about so many topics and issues and concerns. You will love it. And make sure to join us for now, every Thursday night at 8 p.m. That might change down the road. Who knows? But for right now, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/blameyourbrother/live or just youtube.com/blameyourbrother. It'll be the first video there. Come hang with us. Tell all your friends about it. It's a blast. We have a good time. It's a good chat room. Everyone has a blast doing it. So make sure you do that. Before we get started, we'll do what we always do, a legal team. We have an actual legal team that listens to our past episodes, and before we begin a new one, they make us ask each of the hosts, are there any apologies or retractions you need to make for last week's episode? Lee, go ahead.
Yeah, we kind of got kicked off the YouTubes last week for a brief period of time.
Whose fault was that?
I'm going to blame John.
Okay.
Yeah.
So John, do you apologize for that?
Sure.
See, I told you it was his fault.
It's all my fault for allowing Lee to post a video of something that shouldn't have been posted in the background.
All right. So there we go. Is that it, Lee?
I gave Lee too much leeway is what I did.
Anything else? Anything
Get
else?
it? Leeway.
Yes.
No, we don't get it. We don't get it. Anything else you want to apologize for?
No, I'm waiting for your apologies.
All right, Lee, you're done. John, do you have anything to apologize for?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. I did miss a nickname last week, Mr. Michael Anthony Nicholas, who hopefully, we put it out there. Come be on the show, and we have not heard anything from him, and we know he listens every week. So I don't know what that's about. But what we do know is he said I'd given him a new nickname. I forgot what that nickname was. I went back and did some research, and it is Mr. Pink is his nickname.
Mr. Pink.
If he ever comes on the show,
Mr. Pink.
that's his AKA, Mr. Pink, from the great movie Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
The only guy that lives through the whole movie. Oh, that's a spoiler
Or
alert
does
for a
he?
movie that's 30 years old. How old is that movie?
It's pretty old.
About
So
25
is there a
years old.
statute of limitations on spoilers?
I don't know. It's not even, you don't even know actually if he lives or dies, but there's a bunch of fan theories about it. That's your nickname, Michael Anthony Nicholas.
Yeah, but are you a big anti-spoiler guy?
Yeah, for new movies, not for older ones.
So what do you? That's what I'm saying. At what point does it become okay?
if it's 5 years old, come on.
5 years?
I think if the note of the spoiler is genuinely known.
Yeah,
but how do you judge?
At this point, everybody knows the spoiler is Sixth Sense.
Do that,
right? Yeah.
What's in the back?
I didn't when Kenny told me, but I do now.
I watched the movie. I don't know what the spoiler is.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You said you figured it out before the movie was over. What are you talking about?
People always talk about that movie like it's real mysterious.
Lee,
what was the secret?
He's dead the entire movie. Bruce Willis is. That's the spoiler, dude. Come on, man.
Bruce Willis is one of the dead people
Yes.
he can see.
Lee's like, I figured that out about 2 minutes.
I thought we were talking about the Brad Pitt movie where he kills people. Seven.
No, there's no.
You said Sixth Sense.
I guess there's a spoiler.
No, I didn't figure it out. Davy Crockett said he figured it out.
The numbers
that was
are
Davy Crockett.
messing with him.
Well, I guess there is a spoiler to 7 as well. But anyway, who cares? Something like Sixth Sense. Even when Star Wars came out, people were like, don't go tell everybody Han Solo dies. But it's like, all right.
Wait,
guys.
what?
Yeah, sorry. It's ruined the movie for you.
But so you
that
think
was-
5 years? Like
Yeah.
you have to walk on eggshells and be like, oh,
I just don't.
this movie came out 5 years
I mean, like,
ago.
To me, it's pretty much whether or not.
Like Fight Club at this point, everyone knows what's hip, man. I mean, it's not like there's some guy out there walking around going, well, what's this? Well, there might be younger people. I don't know. See, so that's the problem. But you're right. If it's in pop culture lexicon, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, come on. I mean, Fight Club is a very like well-known movie, and most people know this. I'm not going to say it now. There might be some young people listening, but if you're not, go check
If
out
you
Fight
haven't seen Fight Club, you need to watch it.
Yeah, you definitely need to go check it
Yes.
out. It's a fantastic movie.
Amazing
So-
movie.
5 years. No.
All right, so Mr. Pink, there we go. All right, well, anything happened that we need to discuss this weekend for anyone before we get
Labor Day.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Mostly just relaxed, you know.
All right, John, did you do anything?
I watched
Special-
Passengers. I really liked it.
Oh, it's
Pretty good.
terrible. Oh, it's trash.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay, let's go ahead. Tell me what you liked about this trash movie.
I mean, the only thing I didn't like is, well, we already discussed spoilers, so I can't really tell
Well,
why
just
I
tell
didn't
me
like it. But
the ending or what?
no, like 20 minutes into the movie, something that the main character did.
Yeah, he's terrible. I mean, why would you even like that guy after that?
Yeah,
Or
I was
did you call
pretty-
spoiler alerts? On
We're
your
not- I mean, we're not
5-year-old
I didn't
movie?
discuss
We're not
that. I
discussing
just said
what it
something
is.
he did.
So let's see how good we know John has terrible taste. So Lee,
Oh, boy.
what do you think Passengers has on Rotten Tomatoes critic score?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Passengers is a movie to take place in the future where there is a passenger ship going to a new planet, and the whole ship is basically on autopilot. And somebody wakes up from the hypersleep.
This movie came
way
out
early.
a year ago. And
Yes, it was a
you're
big
just now
release.
watching it.
It's a huge. Well, yeah.
Nobody else cared.
This is
All right, Lee.
hey, wait in a few months, and when you have a kid, you'll find out
All right,
that it's
Lee.
an exciting thing when you do get to watch a movie.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I love
Rotten
movies,
Tomatoes. What do you think this movie got?
So it's like 1 out of 5.
No, it's
Out of 100.
0 to 100%. How many critics said it was an all right movie?
Critics.
So
Probably 25.
yeah, 31%. You're pretty
31%.
close. And John's like, he loves it.
I know.
It's a terrible film. It's
Why
bad.
would you? Yeah. Why would you bring this up?
It's like
That's what I'm saying.
I couldn't even barely get through this movie. It was so terrible. I mean, I love Jennifer Lawrence. She's one of my favorite actresses. Chris Pratt, he's all right. You know, I don't have a problem with him, but it's just boring, terrible story. And we're not going to discuss what the main character does, but when you make the main character do that 20 minutes into the movie, I'm done. Like, I'm just like, dude, you're a jerk.
What did he do?
We'll tell you after the show.
What did he do?
What did he do? What's in the box? All right.
So I went and saw.
That is a spoiler alert.
I went and
What's
saw
in the
Carlos
box?
Mencia Friday. I
Oh,
forgot
why
about
did
that.
you do that? He's a
It was-
hack and a joke stealer.
Okay, well, let's hear what you have to say. I mean, it was just at Zany's. So
he
you
went
know.
on Mark Maron's podcast,
Yeah.
and he was accused by Joe Rogan of stealing jokes. He was going around stealing jokes.
I've heard that
The
about
infamous
him.
joke he stole was a Bill Cosby bit that is famous and everyone knows it, where basically young kid grows up, he's playing football, his dad works with him when he's a Pop Warner, he works with him when he's in. So I mean, I'm just gonna cut
Yeah,
the joke.
just get to the end.
He works with him until he gets to college, and he goes, and then they show
I
the
hope he
camera.
didn't steal this joke.
No, it's better. I mean, obviously they're telling it better than. And he looks at him and he goes, you're proud of your son. The camera looks at him and what does he go? He goes, thanks, Mom. So that's the whole bit. It's like the dad did all the work and the mom gets credit. Well, anyways, he stole that exact same joke. Like, I mean, he changed it.
Fine, it's an age old joke. You know what's funny
It's
though?
an age-old bit, John.
You know
you've
what's-
all heard that one before, right?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, there's some jokes that are timeless, but what is funny is you would love this guy.
No.
The stuff that he says is stuff that you would
Well,
be behind
joke stealing?
100%. The
Okay.
joke stealing aside.
Tell us.
He just talks about how America is filled with a bunch of whinies
That's true.
that don't need to be here, and that if you don't love this country, that's the greatest country on the earth, then get out.
So he stole that from somebody.
yeah.
Obviously.
So if you're the first person to say that, you can never say it on stage
No,
again.
if you anyways, Joe Rogan.
Okay,
So,
you're not really that familiar with his
Oh, yes.
comedy.
I watched
So
his
you've
show,
studied
Mine-
it and
Mine-
notated all the jokes he's stolen.
No, but mine. Well, I've watched. Yes, there's a YouTube clip. If you watch it, it's called Carlos Mencia Steals Jokes. Now I'm
Yeah.
going to explain how I know this. And Joe Rogan confronted him on stage at an event, like with people around him. He's like, "You're a joke stealer. He started listening. So he goes on Mark Maron's podcast, and Mark Maron interviews him. And Mark Maron never does this. So he interviewed him first, and then he got done with it, and he goes, I just, something's not off. Something's off with this interview. So then he starts getting people in his crew, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he stole jokes from us all the time." He's like, "We'd go out and perform on stage. He'd write down all of our jokes and then perform them later on and fire us off the tour." So then Mark Maron brought him. Mark Maron brought him back on for the second interview, and he pretty much confessed to stealing a lot of the jokes. And he just seems like a disingenuous guy.
Do you know what one of my least favorite things in the world is?
Joke stealing?
No, when people talk about the Mark Maron or Joe Rogan podcast during a podcast.
Well, I mean, Mark Maron is on the Mount Rushmore podcast.
No, I understand that. But it's just like,
I almost had a chance to interview him.
It's like
almost.
It's like the podcast just
I would
spirals out of control.
I mean, that would have been on a list of accomplishments. I was so close to interviewing Mark Maron one time. But anyway,
what happened?
It just
Did you leave the
was
oven on or something?
No, it's for another podcast, and they couldn't have another guy in the room apparently, or I don't know, something. But anyway, all right. So he was.
We can't have another.
So he
guy
was
in the
funny.
room.
He was.
I mean, I thought when I watched him that you would love his comedy.
Well, maybe I'll check him out. I mean, he's kind of maybe
he's loud.
Well, I mean, he's not
obnoxious.
He's not the only person that steals jokes. I mean,
True.
Dane Cook is like.
Yeah, well, I don't like Dane Cook either.
I mean, people.
Dane Cook said a guy stole his aura. You stole my aura. He went up to this dude at his house and told him that. He goes, "You got to stop stealing my aura, man." He said that on Mark Maron's podcast.
Who's the guy that does the marionettes?
Who?
The puppets or whatever.
Oh, Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham.
He's terrible.
He's right up there with that guy, in my opinion.
But the good point you bring up about Mencia and Bill Cosby and Woody Allen. When do we stop judging the art and judge the person through the art? Like,
I think it's when Mark Maron or Joe Rogan said so, right?
Well, like, is Bill Cosby, can you still appreciate him in the realm of comedy now that we know he's a rapist? Like, he raped multiple women. Can you go back and listen to his stuff and respect it?
Did he get found guilty of that?
Brother, there's guilty and then there's he did. Like Michael Jackson, we know he raped those children, man.
No,
okay?
I don't know. There's still a lot of people that
he touched the little children. Okay,
well,
he touched
I don't
the
know
little
if that's
children.
true or not. I hope none of it's.
Well, we
right.
don't know Bill Cosby did it.
I hope he did.
It's pretty damning. Okay.
No, that's horrible. I agree with you. You can't look at Bill Cosby the same way.
I say this about Michael Jackson.
Keep my kids out your mouth. It doesn't even make sense.
I said that. No, I would say that to Michael Jackson if he was still with us.
That's what you would say.
I
to
thought that was
Michael.
hilarious. I thought that was funny.
Well, yeah.
I did think that was funny.
Lee thinks it's funny too. He just don't want to laugh. All right. So anyway. All right, so Carlos Mencia was good.
I mean, you've just been dying for that drop forever.
I mean, if you got drops, you got to use them.
I'm searching. I'm gonna set this guy up.
I've been working this plan for like 60 episodes now.
Like,
almost.
I just can't wait till you mention Michael Jackson.
I got to get Lee to say that, and then I got to bring up Michael Jackson.
But anyway, this guy came out. He was very in your face. He was loud. He was obnoxious. Whatever.
All right, I'll check him out. I mean,
I didn't really want to go. It's just it's Zany's.
I'm supposed to go tomorrow, but I don't think we're going to go.
Who of comedians? Who do you think most exemplifies the way you feel?
Oh, Bill Burr.
Oh, Bill
100%. Yeah, Bill Burr's the best.
I tell you who I mean, as far as political views, it's not dead on with you, but who reminds me of you whenever I watch him is
Dave Chappelle.
No. Oh, great. No, Louis Black.
Louis Black. Yeah, I guess so.
Just the way his delivery and stuff.
The monuments of comedy. All right, let's just do this real quick.
That's a key. Keep my kids out.
Yeah, we've talked about that key before.
What? I mean, you didn't ask John about his Labor Day. You're jumping on to this.
Oh, I thought we already did.
Oh, what'd you say?
He watched Passenger.
Oh, that's right.
He said he didn't have any time. Okay. But once you have a kid, you cherish every single moment.
Well, I went on the lake and had a good time. So
we didn't ask you because we didn't want to know.
Thanks to Brent and his wife for taking us out on the boat. If they listen, we had a blast, man. It was freaking-tastic. We need a boat. We need a Blame Your Brother boat.
I mean, you can rent them whenever you want.
No, we need to buy one all together, and then we go out on the lake together.
So
and
we can put
podcast on a boat.
So we can park. We can park the
Blame
boat
Your boat
by your by your lake house, and then you will be able to use it.
We can rent a slip here in Nashville.
Look, I don't want to go to the lake any more than I'm fine just renting a boat.
It's amazing. Hey, I'm going to put this to the listeners. Blame Your Boat podcast. Are you in or you're out? Let us know on social media. Okay. Let's get to the topics.
You wanted to discuss this a couple weeks ago. We
yeah,
never
this
got
is one
to
of the
it.
topics. All right,
So-
go ahead. Read it.
So you've clipped something from Twitter.
Yeah, which you
from
love.
Andy Paris, I
Right.
guess. He's verified.
At Andy Paris.
Who is he?
You
You don't know he's verified.
I'm on a boat. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so it says revised. You can only use 3
Don't
ever
you
again.
ever forget.
Okay, so these are a list of services and restaurants and services. I mean, businesses. All right, so you can only use 3 of these in your life ever again. Go ahead and read the list of
All right, so the 3 are the list is Facebook/Instagram,
okay.
Uber/Lyft, Starbucks, Netflix, Apple, Twitter, Amazon, Google, Walmart, or Chick-fil-A.
Okay, so you can only use 3 of those.
What is this? First off,
Lee's comment in the Reddit is Facebook and Instagram the same thing? Because I'm kind of out of touch if it is. Yes, it's owned by the same company, dude.
I think stuff like this is so dumb.
Okay.
This stuff needs to stay on Facebook. Okay, why are you posting?
It's on Twitter.
I know that's what my complaint is. Like, stop posting your
Brother.
Facebook crap to Twitter. Okay, keep it on Facebook.
No, this got like a million freaking.
I know, it's sad.
All right, John, you can only keep 3 of those. We're going to read them again. We'll just Facebook, Instagram, 1. Uber, Lyft is 2. Starbucks is 3. Netflix, Apple, Twitter, Amazon, Google, Walmart, Chick-fil-A. Which of those 3? And the other ones you can never, ever use again no matter what. Go
Never
ahead.
ever use again. I'd
Yep.
probably go
Okay, are you going to think about it?
Walmart,
Okay.
Google,
Okay.
and I'm torn between Facebook and Amazon.
Well, pick one.
We get a lot of diapers from Amazon, so I'll probably go with Amazon.
So you pick Walmart, Amazon, Google.
Yeah.
That's the 3 I pick as well. You dead on, and we've never
No, don't
discussed
pick-
it.
Why do you shop at Walmart?
We buy our groceries at Walmart.
It's
Buy
too
everything at Walmart.
It's
Yeah,
convenient.
It's great.
Oh,
Okay, so we'll never be on social media again, John.
that's
Ever.
fine.
No, I mean it would take some adjusting, but I think it would make life so much simpler in like a week. You would be like, heck yeah, dude. What did I
Wait till Amazon buys a social media
That's
network,
true.
then
All
we'll,
right.
we'll be back on
But
there.
the thing is, we can't ever have an iPhone again because Apple's out, so you have to choose Google. Like if you don't choose Google or Apple, you don't have a smartphone ever again.
Oh, you can buy like a Kindle Fire,
I'm
do
pretty
like
sure.
internet phone calling or something.
No, you can't do that. I've have an Amazon
I mean,
Kindle Fire.
You might be able to do that.
No,
but,
you can't. There's no good apps on that thing. It's like a brick at this point. All right, so Lee, which 3 do you
The
pick?
chat says there's Google Plus. It's just you and a piece of tumbleweed.
That's true. There is Google Plus. Yes, I forgot about that.
Hey guys, where's everyone at?
Where's everybody?
I still occasionally post on there. It's amazing that people still get on there. Okay,
I just can't even find. Why did you want to?
pick the 3.
Me?
No, yes.
I would have to for work. I would have to pick Amazon, Google, and Apple.
Okay, Amazon, Google, and Apple for Mr. Lee.
I mean, I would have to.
Why? What do you do at Apple with your work?
Apple, I have an Apple computer.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well,
And Google, you can't use the internet without a Google
no,
search,
you
right?
can't. Well, yeah.
And then
Bing.
Amazon controls,
Yahoo.
like literally, Amazon controls like
MSN.
most of the servers in the
Yeah.
world in the cloud.
So basically,
So how deep you want to go? They just bought Whole Foods.
So Facebook, never again. I'd be fine
Oh.
with that. Uber, Lyft, that would kind of suck because I use
but
it downtown.
you could get cabs.
But you could walk. Yeah, that's
Cabs
true.
have stepped up their
Starbucks,
game.
Starbucks is overrated. I've already said that before on the
Starbucks
show.
is good.
But they're overrated.
There's other
Netflix
problems.
would suck.
No, it wouldn't.
You know, you can't watch any. No, you can't BitTorrent. If I'm doing this game, you cannot watch a Netflix movie or show or original
But
series ever
that's
again.
fine. That's fine.
John, that would be terrible, right?
That would be terrible.
Okay, name your top 3 Netflix originals.
Daredevil.
Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Defenders.
Okay, you have literally lost nothing. If you have never watched those, you've literally not.
What's
lost
that one about?
anything.
How to the murder?
How to Get Away with Murder.
I didn't see that.
No, it's not how to. No,
no,
the
no.
documentary.
Making of a Murder.
Making of a murder.
Arrested
bad.
Development, the second
There you
season
go.
or whatever, which
Okay.
wasn't as good as the first. Stranger Things, was that Netflix?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure was.
Who cares?
There's a bunch of great
Yeah,
things.
but it's not
House
a-
of Cards, dude. Come on. Yeah, I'm trying to think of ones off the top
that's
of my
not
head.
that's not a Netflix original.
Yes, it is. Yes,
I've never
sir.
seen it.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
If you've never had to watch TV again,
Oh, anyway, so then Apple, Twitter gone.
Twitter gone.
Which would, I mean, that kind of sucked for the show.
Chick-fil-A, who cares?
Who cares? I mean, I like
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A,
that's what I'm
but
saying,
I
this
could live
list.
without it.
Like, who's gonna say like
You'd
Starbucks?
be surprised, man. You'd be
Walmart and Chick-fil-A. Anyway.
All right. Anyways, go ahead.
Moving on.
All right. What topics you got lined up for us tonight?
All right. So where do you want to start? All right. I wanted to talk about this. This guy in Florida threatened parents in a school pickup line with a rifle. So he lives next to a school. First off, did y'all have some comments about how he looked?
John did.
I just said he looked like Kevin Nash. I don't think a lot of people know who he is.
I'm surprised he
Who
doesn't
is
have a neck
Kevin
tattoo.
Nash?
Exactly.
John, explain who he is.
Kevin Nash is a former wrestler. He debuted in WWF under the name Diesel, and then when he went to WCW, he just went by his own name. But he was part of the Outsiders, and
Okay.
This gets worse with every.
How do you know so much about
Lee, I know all
wrestling
this.
history?
I mean, we know wrestling. We
Dude,
watched. You were there.
You were there, man.
Yeah.
All right, so he lives across the street from a school, and people were parking their cars to pick up their children, and he came out with a rifle and said, "Get off my road," and threatened them with a gun.
Okay, so 54 a man. So school pickup line in front of his home.
I just explained all this. He lived
No,
across
I mean,
from
but I don't
Mechanic
understand.
Conference School.
Why was
They
he?
were parking in the front of his house,
Okay.
and he came out with a gun. So
Yeah.
obviously this guy's an idiot, right?
Okay.
But
Well, here we go. Make it official.
Oh my God, I am surrounded by idiots.
I mean, William Markham is an idiot.
To the idiot mobile. You idiot.
You're an idiot.
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
Guys, go ahead.
So have you ever parked your car in front of someone's house and they came out and was like, "Don't be parking in front of my house"?
I've had a gun pulled on me when I was parked in someone's driveway, but
That's slightly different.
never in front of their house. No.
But that was involving their daughter, though. So
No,
You know,
there's
I
always a backstory.
Things happen, people.
Let's hear that story.
So basically, I'm trying to. You know how you get older, some of these stories
Nope.
got to go together.
Nope.
All right, so
things start melding.
I was supposed to meet this one girl through somebody I knew. Her name was Crystal, which we should have knew.
This
That was off to a
before
bad
Tinder,
start.
right?
Yeah, it's before Tinder. So somehow it was all some online thing. And so I was supposed to meet her, and I went to her house, and she wasn't there. And so then I was hanging out with like her friend, and her ex-boyfriend showed up, and he was like eyeballing me the whole time, and her parents are there, and I'm like, what is happening right now in my life where I'm here? But anyway, so then they're like, no, she's
What is the
they're like, so then her friend's like, yo, can you take me to my house? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. Where's the girl I was supposed to meet? And they're like, well, she's out doing something. So I take this girl back to her house, and it's in the middle of nowhere, dude. This is the country, no Google Maps, no maps at all. So I'm like, I don't know where I'm
So
at.
like 5 minutes outside the city.
It was dangerously like just dark.
You didn't print out your map quest
No, I
directions
mean, no.
beforehand?
I guess the ex-boyfriend wasn't going to hand me directions. He just wanted me out of the house. So anyway, so I pull up in the driveway, and I get out, and I'm like, I'm kind of being goofy, so I kind of stumble out of the car. And when I look up, Dad comes out with a shotgun, man, and pumps that thing, dude. He goes, you get the hell out of here. And I went,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I got in the car, and I got the hell out of there, man. That was,
What?
oh, that's not the first time I
Did
had
he think you were the ex-boyfriend or
I don't know who the
something?
hell-
Maybe she had a lot of ex-boyfriends?
I think she had a bunch of boys she was bringing to her house, and I guess he was on like the front porch too, and I was kind of looking, going like, "What the? Who's that?" So
Dodged a bullet.
anyway, so yeah, so this
Literally.
guy, yeah, thank God. I'm telling you, man,
It wasn't a BB though.
until you've had a shotgun cocked and like like in your direction. That's fear, man. It's not a good time.
You finally found your fear, huh?
Found it, yeah. Okay, so anyway, so this guy here,
So yeah, this guy's an idiot. But so my question is,
you're
I've
mi-
had people that are like, they're very passionate about
you're-
people
wait,
not parking.
Wait, you're burying this story. According to the sheriff's office, Markham came out of his home shirtless, armed with a rifle, and told the parents, "Get off my road."
Yeah.
Amazing, dude.
And then they like shut down the school. Everyone went inside the school and waited for the sheriffs to come, and he was arrested on aggravated with a deadly weapon.
Isn't that like that
with
movie?
intent to kill?
Isn't
right?
that movie like with Harrison Ford? Get off my damn plane.
Also, he's Florida man.
Yeah,
so-
well, that's not surprising. So, what's your question about this? You said you had a question.
So
about it?
I've had people that are very passionate about people not parking in front of their house.
I don't like people parking in front of my house on the street, but I don't come out with a gun. I posted a video on Facebook because everyone in our subdivision, it's a small road, park on the road, and there's hardly any room for one single car to get through. So I took a video of it, and put up on Facebook, and it had like 180 comments, and people
What
were
were
just
people saying?
I mean, most of them were like, yeah, these people are jerks, you know, and then some people were like, yeah, you're a jerk for filming it. What's your problem? And everybody in my neighborhood saw this. They were all like tagged in it by other people because I don't know who in my
What is
neighbors
this,
are.
Facebook or what's the
Facebook, yeah. It's a Facebook like Spring Hill group. And then the next few weeks, guess what? Nobody parked on the street for a while.
Uh-oh,
So,
social justice
kinda,
warrior right here.
Social
This
justice.
guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
Too bad it didn't last.
Too
though.
bad I didn't like no.
Oh, they're parking there again?
I
Oh,
need another
yeah,
video. I
nothing.
guess
Need another video. You
can-
need to get out there with your mic and interview them
there
and
you
stuff.
go, right.
Excuse me, sir. Why do you think it's appropriate to?
Why are people are just passionate about what they believe is their property, whether it's their property or not. They think the sidewalks are their property, the front of their houses. People are just they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And this guy reached his
sick
breaking
and tired
point,
of being
man.
sick.
Say, get off my road, you little boys and girls. Like, does this is the guy you want living across from the school?
No,
number
definitely
one.
not.
This is a bigger problem. This guy looks like a freaking sex offender.
I
mean,
feel like Florida has across from every school. There's a
So
guy
what was
just
the
like
name
this.
of the guy that with the movie Falling Down was based on?
yep, this guy right here. He had
Okay.
enough.
Anyway.
All right,
Okay.
well.
So it's good to know that you've had that experience. I was hoping you would
There
have.
you go.
So you're don't park in front of my house.
I mean, I'd rather you not. I'm not going to bring a gun out. But
you need to pump a shotgun. Is
you
what
have
you need to do.
you
Put
have,
some fear in
you
them.
have a parking garage and a 4-car driveway. If you have more than 5 cars, we need to talk anyway. Why do you have more than 5 cars in your?
Uh oh.
Are they dreamers?
Socialism's coming out of
They
the woodwork
say
over
that
here.
They say that I'm a dreamer and I'm not the only one.
All
Are
right,
you gonna
let's
bring
move
that?
on.
Are you bringing the dreamer story up? Or are we skipping over that this
Oh,
week?
I don't think we posted one of those stories.
Yeah, there's one up there.
Oh, is there?
Dreamers.
Let's
Dreamers
see.
are gonna dream, man.
Where's the dreamer story?
Come
Let's see.
on.
No,
Oh, there's
that's
passengers. That's a fantastic story. There it is right there.
Okay.
Dreamers get the job done. So basically, Trump said he was going to get away with the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. He's going to do away with it, which guarantees that if you came here as a child, you could stay here legally. And now I guess that is that off the table. But, I mean, 15 states have filed lawsuits about it. So I really don't know what's going on with this.
They're taking my kids.
John, what are tell us about dreamers, man. What's a dreamer?
I don't know what a dreamer is.
Is dreamer another word for illegal immigrant? Like,
I think
Lee,
it
is that-
shouldn't be.
I
But
think it's if you were here as a child and you grew up in the United
Right.
States your entire life,
Yeah.
went to school,
I don't have a problem with that.
socialized with other Americans. When you graduated, you were, granted it citizenhood.
I'm fine with that.
You're like an upstanding citizen. You have a job. You're
All
paying
right,
your
that's-
taxes.
That's cool. I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that.
What's the big deal?
So what if you're not a child? What if you just come to the States and you got a job and you pay your taxes?
Well, go file for citizenship. It's not that hard to do.
It is,
people.
actually.
My
We've had
my
this-
sister-in-law had to do it. I mean, it can be done.
I mean, these people don't even want kids here. And you think it's easy?
Well, they don't want a lot of things. They want to, have a nuclear war with North Korea.
Hey,
I mean,
can I steal a joke from Carlos?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so like this, he kind of hinted at this, but if you're going to ask people to talk English without an accent,
Yeah.
you should probably be able to speak English without an accent. Like, like if you're a redneck and you're like, them Mexicans need to learn to speak English.
John, I can't wait for this. This guy's a riot, man. I can't wait for some Carlos Mencia
Man.
comedy.
I thought that was very.
That Slade, man. killer bit.
I'm just saying. They're taking
I
my
get you.
jobs.
I
They're
get
taking
you.
my jobs.
Hey, it's life's about luck. Where were you born? Where do you
Life's
die?
about luck.
I'd agree with that.
It's not about dreaming.
The dream.
You need to stop dreaming and start buying lottery tickets.
I just think the one thing the left does do pretty well is brand things a certain
God,
way.
here we go.
Well, this is
There we
this is their term,
go.
dreamers. It's definitely not from the right, but they do.
Yeah, it took Republicans and Democrats both to vote on this.
Right. Well, that's true too. So, but I think there's more Republicans than Democrats. So, we'll see. I mean, it's up to the states to enforce it. Nashville's already pretty much said they're not going to. So, who cares? I mean, but this is almost. Isn't this what the Civil War was essentially about? Like, we're going to keep ignoring what the federal guidelines are? Like, isn't this going to come to a head at some point? If the states just keep going, all these laws you're passing, we're just going to ignore all of them. We're not going to enforce any of the rules you pass. I mean, isn't that a problem at some point?
I mean, sure.
John, is that a
what
problem?
Is that what you want? You want the South to rise again?
No, I'm out. I'm moving them from the South, brother.
What we need to do is start. We need to like get that slow boat from China, load it with tiki torches, and get them on the way so that when it comes, we have enough.
I'm either going to New York or Arizona, baby, or Colorado. That's one of the 3 places I'm out. I will not be in the South.
Where are you going?
New York, Arizona, or Colorado.
Okay, you realize that if there's a civil war, all 3 places you mentioned will be involved.
Maybe. Colorado will be.
What kind of?
Colorado will be baked. They're not going to be going into civil war.
I'm going to avoid the civil war by going to another state.
I would fight against the South, brother. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if I had to, I don't believe in many other ways, so that's fine by me. All right,
that's hilarious.
Is that the dream? We're done with the dreamers.
The dream for David's dream is to start a civil war, I guess.
No, it's not my dream, brother.
No, it's to avoid a civil war.
Yes, I'm running away. I'm going to the state where everybody's high all the time, dude. I don't want to fight.
All right, you heard it here
first. I'm not a fighter. I've never been really in a real fight my entire life.
Smoke weed, not war.
I hope to continue that. I'm not a fighter. I'm a talker. I'm a lover. I'm a dreamer. All right, let's go.
Are you a midnight?
Yep, midnight
joker.
Midnight toker.
Sometimes they call him Maurice.
Is midnight toking the best toking, Lee?
I don't know.
Oh, you never toked before. Okay. Well, if you can send us a message on the social media, is midnight toking the best kind of toking? Let us know.
I don't even. Where did you pull that one from?
The song.
It's the
yeah, but why?
It's the literally in the song.
No, I get the lyryrics. Anyway,
I'm a midnight toker.
So
smoking that weed all night long.
In that vein, I wanted to talk about this lovely graphic you put together for everyone.
Lee, I will get to the story. This is more for you than the group.
No, let's get to the story.
Okay,
let's get to the story.
Here we go.
Nobody else can follow this but you.
Who has heard of Mia Khalifa? Either of you heard of Mia Khalifa?
It seems somewhat familiar.
She is an adult film star. Is that, John, do you get what I'm saying there?
I know what you mean.
She's a porn actress.
Nice.
So she is of Middle Eastern descent. Doesn't matter. I mean, she's kind of made her.
Wasn't she famous a while back for doing they wanted to stone her in the Middle East or something?
Yes.
Because she was doing
Yes, I think we talked about her on the show before. But anyways, attractive young lady. I think I don't have a problem with her. So Mia Khalifa, but she's also famous for. So athletes will DM her. If you don't know what that's, direct message her. They will send her a direct message on Twitter. And she will take that direct message and she will blast it out on social media for everyone to see. And she's done this multiple times. So first I would say athletes, I mean, take your shot, but no, if you take your shot, she might put it out there. So the question for me becomes, she recently did it to a Chicago Cubs player, do you have a problem? And we're going to go over some listener comments here in just a second, but do you guys have a problem with her putting direct messages, which are private messages, for famous athletes out online for everybody to see? John, do you have a problem with that?
I mean, maybe the first time she ever did it, that might be an issue. But I mean, if she's done it so many times, you got to be smarter than that. Don't do it.
All right, Lee,
I mean, don't DM her.
Do you have a problem with this?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
Who cares?
Everybody cares. All these people responding care, dude.
Like the Chicago. So is a Chicago Cubs player that recently got in trouble for this?
No, he didn't get in trouble, dude. He's just
got called out.
Yeah, he got called out.
Called out. His DM became private,
dude.
Look, I'm sure his wife cares.
No,
but
he's not married. He's single.
Then who cares?
Dude. We used to live in a country where we had John Kennedy banging Marilyn Monroe in the White House, and no one said a freaking word because it used to be some. You not watch the mafia movies? You know why everybody likes Goodfellas?
The movie? I didn't watch the movie.
Did you watch Godfather? Did you watch Godfather?
Movie?
Based on real events, Godfather. It used to be loyalty above all else except honor. Do you understand what that means? You keep your mouth shut, man. You don't go around blabbing stuff like this. A guy taking his shot. So we got some listeners who commented here. First, from Mr. Orange on Twitter. He's one of all these people follow us, and I engage with them a lot, so I like him. So if you want to call these dudes out, go ahead.
All right, let's get it on. Let's see what they have to say. Let's read it.
I said, fair or foul for calling this dude out? This guy, Mr. Orange, at Daddy Crow, said, foul. Doesn't she have anything better to do than call out dudes that try to hit her up on social media? True.
I mean, that's a fair point. How could you argue with that?
All right. Next one. How dare This is from Biff Baxter, who
Biff
used
Baxter,
to write.
come on.
Who used to write? That's a pseudonym.
Obviously.
he used to write for.
What?
He used to
Is that
write
his real name?
He used to write for MenRule.net, and he's, great writer. He's amazing. He says, "How dare he sully the inbox of such an innocent young lady seeking fornication opportunities?" All right. Then the next one says, "My question is, was she the first pick? I mean, come on, at least scope out the Pornhub rankings before doing that." And then that's from Jay Roberto, J Rob, haha. He gives us some pretty good ones. DC Coltrane says, "Over that bitch, not even that good looking." Okay. And then the last one is from
That's horrible.
DC Coltrane. That was Lee that said that. All right. And then the last one there, the orange dog at Butch's Orange Dog. It would be different if she was a prude. Instead, she's a hypocrite who's out having sex on tape, and then she's putting these dudes on blast.
I don't know if that doesn't. First
that's
off,
what- that's
to
what
be
I-
a hypocrite, she would have to get angry for someone exposing her direct messages.
Right.
You know, being a porn star
guys
doesn't
don't-
make her a hypocrite for exposing people's DMs. That's just the language is not right there. That's all. I mean, I get the point.
Right. So
But you can't
don't
really-
have a problem, like, if these athletes, they have chicks on the side, like, you're just
Look,
like, I
here's-
just blast these guys, man. Put them
yeah,
out there.
I think you should because it's immoral.
You
But
think so?
Here's the
whoa,
problem.
No.
Here's the
no,
problem.
you will not walk away from that. You think it's their obligation to blast these guys?
It's not.
that
They're not
that they're
obligated.
sleeping- that they're
They're
sleeping
not
with.
obligated to anything. But if they want to, sure. Here's the problem.
No, you just said-
you're an old man on the front porch yelling at people to get off his lawn.
Off the
You always
road.
have been. This is a
Road.
new world, man. This technology wasn't around when John F. Kennedy was president.
You're right.
You're talking about the old days and wanting to run around
press
in a
knew.
Mad Men suit
Yeah.
with your sniffer of whiskey,
Yeah.
chase and tell.
Yeah.
Those days are gone, man. Okay, those days are
I just
gone.
think-
Kiss them goodbye.
I think- okay.
If you're gonna hit up these people online,
Mia
you have.
Khalifa.
If you're not smart enough to do the math and say, I don't want this message to be seen
But
by
here's the
anyone, don't send it to a random stranger on the internet.
Okay, but
Problem
she's
solved.
telling college athletes she'll sleep with them if they win games. So is that cool?
What does that have to do
why,
with anything?
Why is she
like
do-
in a direct message?
Yes. Why is she
Did
saying?
they post it and she got
I
mad
don't know,
about it?
dude.
Then she would be a hypocrite.
Why is she putting this guy on blast? Why?
Probably to get social media hits.
But why?
Because we're talking about her now.
I mean, but
What do
that's
you have?
I'm saying.
What? So
I
what
think
is your
Lee's
problem?
got a
with it?
point. I think she's
What is
really
your
doing
problem
it because
with it?
Man, I just feel like if a guy takes his shot, you don't have to embarrass him in front of the whole world, dude.
So you're saying like if
this
you
guy
send
wasn't
a dick,
married,
if you
this guy
send a,
wasn't.
if you send a dick pic to a
didn't.
random let me finish.
Okay.
If you send a dick pic to a random stranger, there should be like an unspoken rule. You will not show that to anyone. If a woman sends a nude
No.
to a random stranger on the internet, there's a rule. There's an unspoken rule. You should not show this to anyone.
Brother, let me tell you, there'd be a big difference between those two things if it happened. If a girl sent a nude to a guy and he put it online, he'd be called a misogynist, a pig, a dog. He'd be
Okay.
called everything under the sun. But if a guy sent a dick pic to a girl and she blasted, I think that's fair. If it's unsolicited, I think that's fair.
I think it's. I would not have a problem with you if you did that. I wouldn't call you those things.
But people would.
But it depends on the context. If you post it and you're like, check
Unsolicited.
out this hot honey.
Unsolicited, though. What if two people are engaging this over time and then the woman
It
starts
all
blasting?
depends on the context of how you disseminate the direct message.
Well, I just
You know,
think-
if you
I mean,
say like, check out this naked woman.
In a
if you say-
perfect world, if she was just like, nah, I'm not interested, and
right,
just dropped it.
shouldn't that be what you do?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
I
that's my whole
agree.
point. She is shaming this guy. If this was done the other way around, I'm telling you now, people would lose their mind over it. They would.
I'm not sure
telling
they
you.
would.
I know they would, man.
I'm not sure they would. Like we're not because we took it up a notch and said the nudie pics.
But the guys don't like it, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm an old guy. Every dude that responded to this story's an old guy. Then you're calling every guy out there. Just dude, if I go up if I go to a girl, so I'm single. Okay, the dude's single. Let's reiterate that. If he was married with kids, yeah, that's different. Okay, this dude goes into a bar. There's a girl at the bar, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? Can I buy you a drink?" And she's just like, "This guy's a loser. He's asking me out. And he's an idiot." You wouldn't have a problem with that at a bar if she did it, because that's what she's doing.
Here's the difference. If these people went up to this girl in real life and she had a hidden camera on and she posted it online, that would be different. But they don't even know this girl.
I just gave you
a direct
no.
message.
I gave you an example.
I would be like, who is this crazy
the-
woman yelling at
John,
the bar?
would you have a problem if some girl start blasting you at a
Here's
bar when
the
you were
difference,
single?
Is if he did something on open Twitter and said, "Hey, baby, let's hook up,"
Yeah,
but it's a DM,
it's a direct private message.
then it should be kept that
Thank
way.
you, John. Thank Thank you for talking sense. I know people say I
But,
say that all the time.
it's like you're like usually the kind of person that says like you have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You have to have responsibility for yourself.
Yeah, private
you can't
message.
Listen to me. You can't be propped up by other people. Is what you always tell me. You have to go out there and make it for your own. If you're an idiot that really thinks that a direct message is going to be private on the internet, even if she didn't post it, what if her account got hacked? That's what I'm saying. Like
that'd be different.
When you hit send,
that's
and you're using a Twitter DM, and you really think that's going to be private, you're an idiot at that point.
We're talking the principle. The principle of the matter. Should it be kept private? Yes or no?
It should, but
okay.
I mean, sure, it should.
I'd understand if this guy kept on and on and
right.
baby, what about now? What about now? What about now?
Yeah.
Then yeah.
So what if he had a wife? So what if it was a man and he had a wife and kids?
Well, it's a little bit.
So
different
then it becomes okay in your eyes. Because see, that's what I'm saying is the gray area. It's not up for me to decide. It's up for her to decide.
I mean, it would be best.
It's her direct message. She can do whatever she wants to with it.
If girls were solicited, and girls rarely solicit guys, so it's really an unfair analogy. But if girls were soliciting me online, I would just be like, hey, look, I'm with this person, you're with that person, whatever. This ain't happening, okay? So let's stop it. I would never think, hey man, let me screenshot this and send it out to all my. Like, she has hundreds of thousands of social media followers. It's not like she don't have 1,000 followers. This story got picked up by every news outlet. So millions of people have seen the story, and now this guy is getting called out by people. I mean, it's just silly. I don't understand why I mean, we could talk about porn stars another
let's
day,
put it this
anyway.
way. Let me just end it on this. A direct message is between two parties, and then either of those two parties can make the decision to make it public. Okay?
Right.
That's it.
All right, there you go.
Right.
I think it's a good debate right there. You said, what would this story bring to the show? I think it was pretty good. Pretty good talk right there.
So you want to
Utah?
What do you want, Kim Kardashian, or you want Utah students?
John, pick Kim Kardashian nudes or Utah fine students.
So we also got Dinosaur Protesters.
Which one, John?
I want to talk about the dinosaurs.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
So, so this was a couple weeks ago. The dinosaurs, a bunch of, I don't even know what to call them, a bunch of protesters dressed up in dinosaur suits.
All right.
And they marched on the White House.
To stop, basically.
So there's 100 of them. What were they doing?
They're trying to stop national service extinction. Basically, the Republicans want to make a lot of the national parks private, which is a bad idea. It's not a good idea. But anyway, he's eliminating a lot of the budget for that service. So that's pretty much what it is. Bunch of idiots dressed up in dinosaur suits and protest on the White House lawn. Okay. Everybody wants to hear. Well, Kim
we
K.
can't blame them. I mean, they ran out of "We Are Stupid" shirts at Party City.
For real, what would make somebody want to go protest in a dinosaur?
They're idiots. I mean, and we talked about this before the show, Lee. If you're going to sit here and tell me these are conservative males, I mean, you could judge a book by its cover at some point.
So you're saying all liberals are
I imagine the meeting for this. Okay, guys, how are we going to do this?
But to be fair, to bring up Mia Khalifa, this was talked about a great deal, and maybe they did prove a point, because if they wouldn't have dressed up in those dinosaur suits, would the media have covered this event? So maybe they're smarter than we think they are. So maybe I need to retract my statement. I apologize. You guys aren't idiots. Actually, you got more press coverage than any other event in the last couple of weeks.
All right, we're ordering 3 dinosaurs. This is going to be us.
John, is that right, John? Did the media cover this more than any other protest in the last few weeks?
I think this one got the most coverage.
I want to apologize ahead of time of next week's show. I apologize. You guys figured it out. You figured how the curve works, and you hit the curveball right out of the park.
So ridiculous equals news coverage.
Let me ask you a question.
I love it.
Is there any cause where you would ever dress up in a dinosaur suit to protest?
Well, I mean, I think it's done now. I don't think we can do it.
Okay, is there any, what about furries?
Oh, no.
Would you ever wear a furry suit?
Oh, for a cause? Yeah. I think if we really want to promote the podcast, if we got dressed up in dinosaur outfits and walked around downtown and passed out flyers, yes, people would definitely pay attention.
Blame your brontosaurus.
So, John, let me ask you a question. Can I get dinosaur suits on Groupon?
I don't know.
We'll have to look that up during the break.
Look that up.
Okay, well, there you go. We're going to do this. We're going to make this happen.
I love it. I think it's a great idea.
We're going to have to do it before it gets too cold, though,
Actually, it is good.
It's the Ice Age. It won't work.
So a story for that is, so I actually went downtown once. I didn't. That's stupid.
It's just once.
I went downtown one time.
One time.
I'm trying to do 2 things at once. That's why I say. I worked downtown across from the courthouse, and there was a mime outside the courthouse.
Oh God, you didn't beat up
protesting.
A mime, did you?
He was silently protesting, and I thought that was like okay. So I walked over to him and he handed it was a flyer for a comedy show, which I thought, oh, that's a genius, you know. So I actually had him on my other podcast. We interviewed him, sat down, went to the comedy
It's
show.
a really quiet interview, wasn't it?
Well, he
mime?
he wasn't actually a mime. He was just dressed up as a mime. So, but I thought that was pretty good. Like it's little things like
You
that.
made this story up, didn't you?
No, I swear to God.
You were just sitting at home by yourself going, no, there's someone else here
Now, I will say this.
in my podcast.
The funny or not,
You can't hear him,
it
he's a
was
mime.
it was one of the worst interviews me and Corey ever did. But he wasn't an actual mime. He was an improviser, and it was a terrible interview. But anyway, who
He
knew?
wasn't very good at improvising.
No, he
Yeah,
was
he
not.
wasn't?
No, he was not
Wow.
very good. So,
So-
unfortunately, but anyway,
Talking
hey,
is not a strong
maybe
suit.
we need to get out there and do stuff like this, man. Get the word out of the podcast. I want to say this about the shirts that we sent out. We've sent out basically every shirt of all 48. So thanks you guys so much for making all that happen. But people will message me just about every week now. Breepo actually tweeted us today, and I had somebody else message me and say every time they wear their Blame Brothers
Bree.
shirts, people come up to them and ask them about what the shirt's about. The conversation starters. So the Blame Your Brothers shirt, people love them. Like they love them. So I don't know, man. We need to figure out something like because people want these shirts. I had a guy like I told you at the fair, basically was like, where can I get that shirt at? So thank you guys so much for that. So at least the t-shirts are working all right.
So the flea market's where we
Do we have a Dear John this week?
We do.
Okay, well let's kill. Kim Kardashian took nude selfies. Google it, you'll find it. All right. So, but anyway,
Is this news?
Well, the important story there is, she says she's a feminist for doing it, and Sharon Osbourne said, "No, you're not a feminist. You're just a hoe taking nude pictures of yourself." So that might get. We don't think we're able to.
Dude, I saw Ozzy Osbourne on TV the other day at some event.
Yeah.
That guy looks like he's 20.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go the opposite of that.
He's
I
like
thought you said-
reverse aging.
Well, he is. He did bite the head off a bat. Maybe he's a vampire.
I don't know. I know they got like didn't they get like a lot of like face surgery or something? Anyway.
Oh yeah, all of them.
All right.
All right. Well, anyways, is Kim Kardashian a hoe or a feminist? Let us know on social media. So, all right, here we go. It's time for Dear John.
By the time you read these lines, I'll be gone.
All right, so it's time for the Dear John segment. People write us in. They need advice in their life. Lee reads it, John answers it, and I interrupt. So here we go. Dear John, go.
All right, this one comes in. Dear John, my 22-year-old son is going to visit his father and gets his third tattoo. I don't like it, but I can't control my son. He's an adult. His father is retired and lives on his wife's pension. It is my understanding that they are wealthy. My concern is for our 14-year-old daughter. My ex thinks tattoos are cool, and when he talks to her via Skype, he talks about the next tattoo he's going to get. I'm afraid that when she's 18, he will take her to get a tattoo as a bonding experience. His life is far removed from my daughter's. He is surrounded by actors, entertainers, and artists. Our child, hopefully, will have a rich, abundant life in an ordinary way. She is focused on her studies and does well in school because of her efforts. How can I impress upon my not-so-confident, shy child that getting a tattoo is not a good idea?
Oh, boy.
This one comes in from, I don't know, tattoo.
So to
Scare.
recap for the listeners and for John, just make sure that we're all getting this right. This woman was married to this guy. They have children together. The oldest son, who's 22, is getting tattoos now and hanging with money. Obviously, he married a wealthy woman, and now he's rich. And now she's concerned her 14-year-old daughter is going to start getting tattoos at some point.
To bond with dad.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, John.
Okay. So she doesn't want, you don't want your daughter to end up getting tattoos like your son has. If you want to make that impression, if that's your goal, just don't get tattoos because I said so. You've got to come up with a firm argument, and it's got to be up to her. When she's 18, she's 18. You got to let her do what she wants to do. It's not breaking the law. She's not going to be a bad person if she gets a tattoo. But you got to come across it. If you bring a good argument, you trust the way you raised your daughter, then she'll make the right decision. But I mean, if you don't come up with a good reason why tattoos are bad, then I mean, you're gonna get what you pay for, basically. But it really depends on how you approach it. I, for one, I mean, don't get a tattoo on your neck or your face.
Oh, we have a key. That's another point.
Yeah.
You don't remember that one?
What's the key?
It's like don't get a tattoo from a guy on house arrest or something.
Yeah, don't go there. But I mean, if Dad's got all that money, I'm sure that's not where he's going for a tattoo.
And as I say in the chat, I guess it's better than bonding with drugs.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
come on.
There's
if you
way
have a
worse things
tattoo,
to be do.
let's not lie. If you have a tattoo, you're on drugs, right?
I mean, you've probably done drugs before. If you have a tattoo,
I was just
there's
kidding.
probably
but thanks
John,
for stepping in there.
John, there's probably a 95% chance you've done drugs before. Would you agree with that?
There's probably a high
There's
chance.
probably a 100%
Heroin though?
No, not hair. I didn't
That was
say
the
hair.
comment from the chat.
Well, I
it's
said
better than bonding with heroin.
I said drugs. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, are tattoos bad for the most part, John?
I think that's.
Would you want your children getting tattoos?
If it doesn't interfere with them getting a job or
Right.
looking ridiculous in public or people not wanting to trust them because of that tattoo, then I see no problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think be careful, kids. If you're listening to this in the future, the past, present, what I don't know how you listen in the past, but who knows where we'll be in 20 years. Well, I guess if they listen in the future, this would be the past. So anyway, just be careful with the tattoos you get because, I mean, one day you'll be older and, I mean, for the most part, you won't be able to get rid of all the tattoos you get. So, I mean, just think it over, right?
For most of our listeners that have listening a long time, they know I do have a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
When I got it, I thought I was always interested in getting one, but I thought, okay, what's something that I'm gonna like today that I'm still gonna like 10 years from now?
And dragons, and then
Dragons.
Game of Thrones. So it all makes sense.
all worked out.
Since you love Game of Thrones today.
That's my jam.
There you go. So it all
That doesn't make any sense. Why don't you watch Game and? Okay. Anyway.
Why don't you watch Game of Thrones?
I don't have HBO.
That's pretty good reason. So you said it best. I'd have to agree with you on this week. I mean, you're gonna have to raise your kids, and then they're gonna make their own decisions. And the hope is you raised them correctly.
You guys are horrible. You give the worst advice between the two of you.
What's your advice?
I think that's the most solid advice he's ever given before.
There's two things that are happening here. One is the fact that this woman hates tattoos. So if we're going the route of
that's true.
If the route is tattoos aren't bad, we need to run this one.
I wouldn't want my two children.
Just be like, look, lady, you need to get over yourself.
No, wait. I wouldn't want my two children getting a bunch of tattoos.
If the problem is she doesn't want her child to get a tattoo with her dad, she needs to break apart that relationship immediately.
Here's the further.
She needs to say that's not your real dad. Your dad's a loser.
Oh, jeez.
You can't talk to your dad anymore.
I think
if I catch you talking to your dad, you're gonna be in big trouble.
Our advice is bad and that's sound.
And then you enroll her in like a private school, like a Christian boarding camp.
Dude, that will make her want it even more.
You're missing the true intent of that message, and I think you walked over. It's not about the tattoos. It's not about the kids.
You're jealous. Relationship.
You're jealous that your husband has married this rich woman, and now he's hanging with the big wigs, and you're not. So you need to take a dose of haterade, drink it up, and get over yourself. Okay?
That's what I'm saying. If the chat can't recognize the sarcasm, then I'm glad that David stepped in and was the voice of reason for once,
always
on this show.
But the truth is, she's bitter as hell.
Now he has another nickname.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all are like, because like, come on, lady, get over yourself.
She didn't have a lot of solid ground. I think he married a rich woman.
Do you know?
You think he married a rich woman?
No.
You think? No,
they might be wealthy.
No.
I think they might be.
Woman, what's her name? Did she give a name?
It's like scared of tattoos.
All right, Denise, Sandy, whatever your name was. Listen here. You're bitter. Okay, you know the man.
And that's why your kid doesn't like you.
He married up, okay? You're done. You're over. Move on. Find a guy at a meat factory. Marry him. Get on with your life. You're never going to marry a rich person, okay? I've got a mutual friend. His actual dad married the wife, the ex-wife of the guy who invented Gatorade. So they're loaded.
Gatorade or haterade?
Actual Gatorade without the haterade on the side. So now this guy is loaded for the rest of his life. Be happy for the man. He hit it big. He obviously hit it big with you because he ran out of the marriage.
You're a horrible person.
He's hanging with actresses and actors and bigwigs. Get over yourself, you old hag. That's my advice. We're out.
Right, roll it.
There you go. Yes, she outkicked her coverage, so to speak. I'm wearing an Outkick the Coverage shirt tonight, brought to you by Outkick the Coverage, Clay Travis. All right, so now we got Blame Your Selfie, and this we encourage our listeners to take selfies. Use the hashtag Blame Your Selfie. Send the pictures to us on Twitter, and we will display some of the images on the YouTube channel. So this is why you need to come check us out on YouTube. So roll it. Roll it.
All right, this goes back 2 weeks.
All right.
2 weeks.
This is from Brother to Blame. I tend to keep my selfies on the down low. But I make an exception for something. There's no text.
Actually a real background in
but
this one.
I make an exception for the Blame Your Selfie crew because they the best. Hashtag double bass. That's you with what? What's in that picture?
A double bass.
It's a stand-up bass.
It's also known as a double bass.
You got it for your birthday.
We already talked about this. We can
All right. This is from Shauna J, who I work with. Sean J 3000. Forgot to post yesterday. I was out and about after work. Hashtag Blame Your Selfie. And she is wearing a BYB shirt. Now, that may be the first shirt on a non-white person that I'm familiar with. Is there any non-white people that have worn the Blame Your Brother shirts that you can think of?
I don't know, man.
John, the answer's no.
Why are you got to make it about race? I don't understand.
Because it's good. We're getting out there. We're spreading. It's like your brand needs to get wings and fly through the sky, man.
I mean, I don't want to look at
we're all
people
like
as a
whiteys, man.
racial demographic,
Kill
man.
the white man, okay? Get rid of the whitey. We're done with white
And
people.
I'm the white Farrakhan.
We're done with the white man. We want the brothers and the sisters on our side, brother. We're going to get the word out now.
Okay, moving on.
Here's some more white people right here.
You can't even keep it together.
God dang it. I can't even do it. At BYB Pod. I can't see. There's no letters down here. At Blame Your Selfie or something. Hashtag dancing in the park. Hashtag date night. You blew me off, right? You blew me off?
Yeah.
Yeah, you blew me off.
There's not a whole lot of dancing going
Yeah,
on
no
there.
dancing in this picture. There is a guy in shorts right behind you, it looks like. And
I think it's a romper.
all right, whatever. All right, here's a comp my pod. What was that called? The male romper?
I think it was just male.
No, it was a romp him or
A
something.
romp him.
A romp him, okay.
I don't
That's
know.
horrible.
All right, here we go. Oh, yes, we do need to clarify on this episode, we still hate Nazis.
Yes.
All right, so this is at, thank you, Not Playing Stupid, for reminding us. This is at Comp My
and
Pod.
storms.
At Comp My Pod and Storms. At Comp My Pod and white people. It says at BYB Pod, hashtag Blame Your Selfie. This is Derek, and this is Sarah.
Hogue.
And they are wearing the Blame Your Brother shirts. They're twinsies. And go check out their podcast. It's called Comp My Pod. You can find it on iTunes, Stitcher.
Are we going to do what do you call 3? If 2 is a Twinkie, what do you call
Triplets.
Are we going to do the triplet picture pose?
I mean, I don't have a
or
shirt.
do we have to be wearing dinosaur suits?
Well, we can do dinosaurs.
Can we get extra larges and put them on the dinosaurs?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. This is Sammy at Finger Podcast. It says, hashtag Blame Your Selfie, bored out of my mind in the waiting room selfie. So he's obviously at the doctor or somewhere. This is Sarah at Caution Spoilers. Sarah's awesome. She's the best cup of tea selfie tonight, as I have dental work in the morning, means I'll be dribbling after. So that's Sarah with the
pretty cool cup.
The coffee.
That does look like a pretty cool cup, like the spider.
All right, this is Michael.
Mr. Pink.
Mr. Pink, Michael Nicholas II says, this is me wearing my NBC Connecticut shirt. Hi to all the hard-working people at NBC Connecticut. Hashtag Blame Your Selfie.
There you go.
Michael,
Black and white action.
Michael delivering the goods. This is one of my favorites. This is at Repo trying on fire hats at hashtag Blame Your Selfie. She's wearing a red BYB Pod shirt and at the fire station today with her. Looks like someone else beside her.
Was it Fire Station or was it Firehouse Subs?
Well, there's another picture she took later, and it appears they're in the fire station.
If you look at the top, doesn't that say Subs right there on the hat?
Well, no, there's another picture. Yeah,
I just think it's weird because I ate Firehouse Subs for the first time.
This is Sammy
the other
again.
night.
It says nap 30 for my grandson. He said he has to make Pawpaw go to night. Hashtag Blame Your Selfie. That's his son. Listen to Blame Your Brother. You should not be doing that, Sammy.
That's a grandson.
See, this is
grandson.
Anyway,
Too
this
young.
is where you play the drop.
Too young. I'll keep my kids. Yeah, man, I don't even have it loaded.
All right, moving on.
Should we do the bit again?
Keep my kids out your mouth.
All right. So
It's all about keeping your kids off social media.
At Count My Pod, this is Kenny Coolbeth. Never heard of this man, but
I think he's a motocross star.
You would say that?
I'm going to guess. I don't know.
All right. And that is that's Sarah of Count My
It's
Pod.
her second husband.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Who knew?
All right. Then we have, Not Playing Stupid. He got his Blame Your Brother shirt. It says, don't mind me just rubbing on butts while listening to the latest episode of Blame Your Brother.
We get that a lot.
Yep, the butts. I said be tender with the butts. He said, no, when you're doing the butts, you have to get in there and really force yourself on the butts, okay?
There's one thing that I'm really glad we will never see.
What?
That's
Grab
the
'em by the
DMs between you two.
Don't you worry about our DMs. Those are
Okay,
those are
that's
private.
all I gotta say.
Those are private DMs,
I'm glad
brother.
that y'all are.
I think Not Playing
agree
Stupid does
on
not
that.
have to worry about David posting his DMs.
Yes, I won't post your DMs, brother. That's between me and you.
I'm assuming he won't post his either after seeing the.
Me and you and those butts, brother. Okay. This is at Dave is the worst. Yes, this is me. It says, I feel like the mayor of Nashville in my new at the Nash collection hat. That was from last week. Nash, this one this week says smash. So I got 2 hats from the Nashville collection hats. I love them. I took that behind the city. I got out of my car and snapped a selfie. I even brought the microphone with me. It was kind of weird.
Speaking of David is the worst, I was kind of hoping we'd have another drop we could play tonight.
Which one?
Oh, you know which one.
Which I know. I literally don't know. Tell me, I'll play.
Aren't you like podcast famous now? Or you're getting,
we,
mentions on other.
We can play that. I haven't chopped it up, but I was mentioned on another podcast. Yeah.
Okay, anyway, continuing on.
This is John Tortorello at Tortorello says fun with daddy. Hashtag blame your selfie. That's not a selfie. But anyway, I guess
Well,
it
the
is.
wife took
I
it,
guess
so
that's
yeah.
her selfie then. But
All
anyway.
right. Well, she doesn't have a Twitter account,
All right.
so.
You need to get your life together.
All right, there you go. That was some selfies from this past week. Thank you guys so much for doing that. Get on Twitter, even if Lee doesn't think you should, and take some of those pictures and go with it from there. You just said don't get on social
No, I
media.
said you need to get your life together and get a Twitter. Is literally what I just said.
No, before that you said about the kids.
I don't think we're talking about his son.
No.
Needing.
No, if your kid wants to
talking about
follow us on,
Robin.
I want the numbers. Get your kids' accounts and follow us. I
If
don't
you got
care.
dogs, if you got fish, if you got dirt or rocks you've named, now is the time to sign
Give
up.
us your followers.
Okay.
Damn it.
Hit it.
I'm Vince McMahon. What am I hitting right now? Major key.
So let me give you a major key. Where is the key?
That is not the key. I want the key.
Give us the keys. So let me give you a major key.
And you really do have the key.
Everybody stand up right now. Everybody. I got the keys now.
All right, it's time for that major key. Robin's already said it should be keep. She
I
said
thought we already had that on there.
I don't know, but she said it should be
keep my kids out your mouth.
That's what she said. I don't know if it is or not. Is that a major key?
It's like such a good key. We got to put in there twice.
Is that already a key? Search for keep my kids out your mouth, man.
Could not find kid.
Okay, well, there you go. So the major key of the week is
keep my kids out your mouth.
Is that it? Keep your kids out my mouth. All right, there
your mouth?
Here, one more time. Listen.
Keep my kids out your mouth.
Yeah, out your mouth. Because it's all about keeping your kids off of social media.
Keep my kids out your
Which
mouth.
is what you said. You said it's okay for me to post my kid on social media.
Yeah.
But you can't post your kids on social media or something.
Isn't that a contradictory to episode
John,
35?
this is like the Bible. You shall not question. That's your major key of the week.
Everybody. I got the keys now.
We also had one, keep your hands off my steak, maybe.
Okay, whatever.
Maybe that
anyway,
was one.
all right. Keep your dick off my social media from Sammy in the chat.
Oh,
all right.
wow, okay. Who I don't know who Richard is, but I don't need to see his DM.
Oh, it's a dad joke, everybody. All right. So we have come to the end of another episode 57, you said. And we want to thank you guys in the chat for hanging out with us tonight. You guys have been fantastic as always. Remember to tell your friends about the program because that's how we spread the word. So a retweet, a share, a like, everything helps spread the word and people come check us out. If you got one of those Blame Your Brother shirts, wear them while you're out. Tell people about the show. You know, if you're listening, you must enjoy it. So share it with your friends. But make sure you go to bybpod.com. That's the website because, obviously blameyourbrother.com was taken by some Canadian company. We're not even going to get into that. But bybpod.com is the website, and you can go there for all of our social media links, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're on the big 3 there. Also, you can subscribe to the show on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn. If they have podcasts, you can find us there. Remember, if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, use the Amazon link. Use that link. We know you guys buy stuff on Amazon, so help us out if you don't mind doing that. You can still get your Blame Your Brother shirts. We did go through all 48 that we pre-ordered through the special sale, but you can still buy a shirt. So if you want a Blame Your Brother shirt, there's a link right there. You click on it. Kevin Scampoli out of Las Vegas makes high-quality shirts. You'll get them, and you will love them. Soft cotton or regular cotton, it's good stuff. And, hey, Radio Vegas Rocks streams us every week, so go check those guys out at radiovegas.rocks. There's a lot happening over there right now. Those guys are up in the studio. It's sounding good over there. So, and like I said, we may stream live with those guys one day, but we're still kind of figuring it out. So, and you can email the show. You can get on bybpod.com straight from the website. You can send a comment straight from. You don't even have to get on your email. So if you email it, you're like, I don't want to get on my email. It's right there on the website. You can donate to the show, and you can leave a voicemail all from the show. You can check out every past episode we've ever done. Tell all your friends about it. Tell them about bybpod.com. It's that easy. So I guess with all things being said, is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Keep my kids out your mouth.